All right. So I just realized it's been a while since I've made a video. I know I look like a mess, and that's okay. But I don't know. There's a lot to talk about. I think I don't even remember what the last video I made was about because I do record videos. I just delete them because I'm not happy with them or the way they turn out. So, but anyways, there's a lot to talk about. Um, I believe uh, Trump and his administration, I believe, used the White House to kind of promote, or they were at the White House just so, like, I don't know, do something for their campaign or do something for their RNC. And apparently that's illegal, which I did not know. And I think it's so great. I'm not talking about Trump's years being great, but I find that, we've studied him. We've criticized every single action, and we've been able to educate ourselves more as a society together. I found out things that were illegal and what was okay, what was not okay. And believe it or not, I was looking in, you know, when I entered high school, um, I was like, okay, maybe Trump can be a good president. Well, it later turned out that I'm a progressive. And that feels really, really, really cool because I used to listen to all these figureheads: Ben Shapiro and the rest of the Daily Wire, PragerU, Turning Point USA, Steven Crowder, Dave Rubin. I almost forgot his name, but yeah, no, I've listened to all those people, and now I'm in a position where I am today because of um, actually looking into certain issues. By the way, I'm sorry if you hear any background noise. I am outside. It is the middle of the night, so things do get quiet or louder. Yeah, yeah, noise gets louder. Um, because everything else is so quiet, I guess. I don't know. But anyways, Trump and his illegal activities. It's so tough because I feel like there's a greater surge in support for Trump, and I can't really put my finger on it. I've seen more Trump 2020 flags than I've seen in 2016, and I can't figure out why. Is he still, because his strategy seems to be failing? Unless, okay, his strategy makes no sense to me, but maybe people are just uneducated or something. Because right now his current strategy is the left is bad, the left, the left is just terrible. I guess I don't know. Um, and here's the thing: in the United States, leftism, you're considered leftist for even being a little bit left leaning. So maybe in the worldview, I'm considered um, more of a right winger, I guess, because I'm still a capitalist, right? I'm just a social democrat. I just believe in higher levels of socializing the people. I definitely do believe that we should be having equal education. Um, you know, make sure we don't have charter or private schools. Like, I definitely want every child to have uh, resources the same as the next one, so that way we live in a meritocracy. Because none of us do anything to deserve the education we get. I think it just makes sense. Finland has a similar education system, or yeah, all their entire curriculum is the same within the entire country, and I believe all their infrastructure is the exact same. Now, call it boring. I'm not saying the infrastructure has to be the same. I'm just saying we have to be teaching the same things, making sure that we teach the right things. Um, I also believe in Medicare for all. There's a lot of things I believe in. So yeah, that's just pretty much a social democrat. There's still capitalism, just higher levels of socializing people. I think in order for us to be socialists, I guess the workers would have to own the means of production. I'm not sure. I don't exactly agree with workers owning the means of production because of different reasons, and I think there are good reasons that could be brought up for socialism, and those that can be for capitalism. For now, I'm just a social democrat. Um, but yeah. Anyways, I was just talking about myself. Wow. But anyways, for some reason, I'm considered a leftist in the United States, and I'll take that. I kind of like being called a leftist compared to someone who's right wing, because we do criticize. I guess the leftist in America would be someone who criticizes America for what it is, someone who actually takes um, a critical look at capitalism and doesn't just like say it's this perfect thing, and it's completely filled with innovation and um, has no problems. When we know it's, I believe a lot of us can believe, or I believe that a lot of us know that it is a refined version of feudalism and slavery, because it is exploitive. We have the employer and the employee, and the employee is not always given great benefits. If you look at Amazon, you know, Jeff Bezos wasn't had to be forced to pay his workers a living wage, and now he took away $2 an hour uh, hazard pay, but I believe they call it hero pay, for 400,000 employees. That is about, I don't know, like 45, probably like 45 to 47% of its company. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But yeah, no, the real left would be the socialists. And right now we're at a war. And I guess I kind of wanted to talk about that too, because this war is destructive. Um, and there really isn't a line for discussion if Donald Trump somehow can make the country believe that Joe Biden is socialist, that Joe Biden is somehow communist. Um, if anything, me as a leftist, I'm mad that he's not left enough. I know Wall Street is happy with Biden and Harris. I wish I had um, Bernie Sanders as president. I wish I had Tulsi Gabbard as vice. And I wish I had Representative Barbara Lee as Speaker of the House. That's what I wish. If I could live to see that day, I feel like we'd be stepping in the right directions for America. We are most clearly not. I'm seeing more support for Trump everywhere, and there's a lot of confusion about the left. And right now, I feel like I'll admit both sides are cherry picking our arguments. We are just, some of us are making cheap points, some of us are making rich points. Um, and I believe the left has. I think the reason the left lost on a platform like YouTube to the right would be because we got full of ourselves. I'll just say it. Now, we had a resurgence with like Vosh, like debaters like him, Vosh, and then slowly starting to build up from the Social Democrats all the way to the Socialists. You had Kyle Kalinske, David Pakman, those guys, right? And then you start building it up more, and then you get to know figures more like Vosh, and these people are really good at debate. They really know what they're talking about, and we kind of have a bit of a hold on YouTube for right now. But I feel like the mainstream is really, and when I say mainstream, I'm talking about YouTube, not like media, and by media I mean mainstream news sources like CNN, MSNBC, Fox News. Okay, those are a separate conversation. But I feel like on YouTube, the left has been losing. It's obvious. Um, and for some reason, I think the left has this information, and then I don't know what happens to us. I feel like we either lose sight of everything, like lose sight of our sources, our evidence, our statistics, and somehow the right beats us every single time. I'm not saying that they're correct, because I know they're not. You just have to fact check them. And I've done so several times. And it's annoying. It's annoying. I remember when I used to listen to Ben Shapiro, and I'm like, no one can beat this man. No one. This is a legend himself. Well, there's Vosh. He's criticized all his videos, and his explanations make absolute sense. Now, you can criticize some of Aj's videos, you can probably fact check him on a few things, but I'm pretty sure he has a firm grasp on what Ben Shapiro stands for and what he lies about, what he cherry picks about. Same thing for everyone I just mentioned who I used to watch, like PragerU, Turning Point USA, all those figures, all the people within those companies. You can fact check. You can fact check. And I just can't find a convincing argument from the right anymore. I've listened to arguments of why a social democracy would not work. I've listened to arguments about why we should be conservative versus progressive. And you know what? Even I debate when I hear those ideas because I'm convinced that progressive ideas are gonna be what takes us to a better society. I like how the right always points at Democrat cities for violence. They'll never look at Republican cities. But not just that alone. Like, let's take it to a global level. What about right-wing countries versus left-wing countries? And I'm looking at Europe. I'm looking at the, more progressive Europe, social democratic Europe. And look at the ones that are further right. Which one has more violence? Will someone please, I don't know why we don't ever use that as a response. Sure, do we want to admit? Yeah, I'll admit that Democrat cities are filled with crime, but I don't think Democrats are a good a good representation for the voices of the left. There aren't socialists. They aren't progressive enough. There isn't a progressive tax system, and there can't be one within a state when we don't do it on a federal level. There's so many moving parts to explain to a conservative, because right now we live closer to a conservative country than we do to a progressive one, and everything is within its own place for a reason. And whenever you try to move something as a progressive, you try to turn it more progressive on the dial, you have to change everything. We need not to break down a government, but I mean we do need a revolution. We do need change, and it's very obvious. America has so many problems, and in some cases, I believe the left has become more patriotic than the right because we do care about this country, because we don't want to see people die anymore. We don't want to see people exploited in prisons anymore. We want to see ourselves as, fulfilled, I guess. I don't know, not great, but we want us to do great things. And there's a lot to it, but this is it for tonight. This is my mini rant. I hope you enjoyed it. And please subscribe, share my videos with your friends. If you guys got topics for me to talk about, I'll gladly talk about them. See you.